Hey everybody, it's Luis again for the fourth video in this series, and now we're going to be getting into our HoloAnatomy session. This is the bread and butter of what you'll be doing in our labs, but it's important that we did all the work to get here. We learned about our device, how to take care of it, where it goes in our space, how to charge it correctly, clean it, how to adjust some of the settings for our experience, how to make sure we're wearing it correctly, cleaning it, and then that boundary item was the last thing we covered in our previous video, and it'll carry us into this item here. So based off of what we learned in our other videos, I'm going to take you step by step on how to get to HoloAnatomy from start to finish. So first thing, getting into lab, settling down, getting your device in your cart according to your assigned number, picking it up, checking the battery, holding that power button until it turns on, getting that meta symbol, right? Putting on correctly, using this dial here, using this head strap, making sure it's level with your head, making sure the lens is clean, the adjustments here have been made, and then you get your screens, right? Again, the pinch of the thumb and index gives us our menu. Usually it'll be set here where you have your main apps, but if not, we know that the menu here gives us an option to adjust and go to the hidden tab. If it's there already, we'll go to all. So being able to go back and forth between those two is important. Knowing where our quick controls are so you can check your battery life, if you have a network, and if your boundary is on or off. So don't worry about the boundary just yet. It's most important that when you're ready for your session, you're in your space, ready to go. You will select the HoloAnatomy application. That'll take some time to load, and you'll get these anchors, right? You can see it shows us how to adjust the pods here, or the anchors. So at this point, I want you to take a break, and I want you to hit that thumb and index, right? Because now at this point, it's the most important that we're on our boundaries. And you can see that in the first part of the video, when HoloAnatomy was not opened, it said boundary off. Now that we're in HoloAnatomy, it'll need a reason for a boundary. So now is when, if it's off, you'll turn it on. If it's stationary, you'll get out of there and adjust and make sure you're in room scale. So again, like we did in the previous video, I'm going to be adjusting our boundaries just so you can see it being done one more time. You can see that all the options I selected are for a room scale, never stationary. I come from the floor level, and now at this point, I'm extending and pinching and creating this map around my purple pod there, right? And maybe leaving some room over there in case I need to take a break, right? But again, pinching and moving around until you create this kind of little boundary, right? You'll hit confirm once you're done. Again, if you don't want to extend your hands, you can move towards the setting there and touch it with your finger. Okay, boundaries are done. Now at this point, we are ready to get into our HoloAnatomy session. You saw that what I did there was I paused the application by pinching my thumb and index and getting into the navigator, or the menu, or I'll call it the meta menu. Once I was done with the meta menu, I resumed by pinching my thumb and index one more time. So that will help if you're studying and you're needing to take videos. Knowing how to pause will help you get into a different application like your camera, and then you can return back to where you need to for your videos or pictures, right? And I have videos on how to take pictures and how to take videos, as well as how to use controllers. So I'll make those after these initial 5 videos, okay? So now we're in our session. Our classmates are with us. We're getting ready for our holo session. You can follow here that we're going to set our anchors. It's always going to go from the 1 to 2 direction. So 1 to 2, and then this anchor will point us, meaning that the hologram will be facing in my direction. If I did it 2 to 1, it would be facing that way. So you always want to make sure you're putting your anchors 1 to 2 so the hologram is facing you. Now we're in the HoloAnatomy main menu. You can see that we have our version, the device name. We have our options to quit once we're done. If you do your anchors wrong, all you need to do is hit reset anchors, and you're back to normal. Some students, when they get into the HoloAnatomy app, they want to put their anchors down and then they want to start, and that's a mistake, because the most important thing to do is make sure your boundaries are set before you get there. So students will set their anchors, then they'll do their boundaries, and then they'll forget about the resetting up. So I recommend When you get in and it loads up, you pause, you do your boundary, make sure it's on, and then you set up your anchors, right? But if you mess up, just go to set up anchor, then you can redo it, right? These three here selections are going to be what we're going to be using for the most part. Private session is when you're studying and doing your work alone. Group session is if you're adding yourself into your group session is if you're starting the session. So in our labs we have team leader. So if I'm team leader, I'll hit group session and I'll start it. If I'm joining it, like my friend here added already a session, I'll be joining their session, and I'll show you what that looks like right now. So you can see here, private session, it's just me by myself, nobody else can see what I'm doing. This is solo. You can see that we have projects from the past and some we're currently working on. You'll select it, it'll turn like this light blue, and then you'll hit next, right? Very important. But I really want to focus more on the group session. So you can see when I got out of there, I'm gonna hit back. It should have kicked me out. If this happens, oh no, it hit back. So now I'll go to home by putting my palm up. I have my HoloAnatomy menu here, and then I'll use my other finger to press home and say yes, I'll return to home. So for the purposes of this video, we're going to focus more on the group session. Let's say we're here, ready to go. I got here first. I'll name this, group 5. I'm group 5. I'm starting it, and then I'm going to hit next. Do your best to, if you want to lock it, that's fine. Just make sure you're sharing it with your team, but try not to lock it because we do have viewer lenses where faculty can jump into your session. So like we did in the previous view with our private preview, you're going to select a project. So let's say we're starting off with foundations. Click on that, it'll turn light blue, and then you'll hit next. As you can see, the foundations hasn't been published yet, so you all can't see it. So let's go to a session that has been published. So we'll go to MSOM projects, hit next, and now you can see that you can select one of the units. So it goes projects and then units, right? So projects would be foundations, neuro, cardio, pulmonary, and then the units would be ALS 1 through 5 and whatever they're named. At this point, your unit is loading. Depending on the size of the unit, it might take some more time. So at this point, you can kind of take a break, let it load up, go out, get some water, go to the restroom. If you are the leader of this group, you will have this control. If you're not the leader of the group, you'll be joining a session, right? That third option, and you won't have control until the leader unlocks it. They'll be able to go through these sessions, right? And they'll be able to reset the view. If a leader gets kicked out by accident, they can join the same session and it'll give them the privileges back. They won't have to worry about getting permission. They'll just rejoin. And here you can see your session is ready to go. Some of the key things I'm going to go right now into detail is how to move things, right? Similar to the previous videos where you extend your hand and pinch, same thing. You will get this if there's a lot of assets on a hologram. So I'm going to hit view here to remove. Just know that you don't want to spend too much time on this slide because there is a lot of assets, right? For some people, they might get motion sickness. For others, they might not affect them. So I would kind of move from a slide that gives you that code there, but it'll only show up once, so you don't have to worry about it after the first time. So again, same as moving in the meta space is either grabbing something with your hands or extending out, aiming, and pinching. So here's that pinch. So aim, pinch, and now I have this model. I prefer you get inside the asset, pinch, and now you have much more control. Now you can put it through your head almost like if you're viewing it as CT, right? If you use both hands, pinch, extend, you can magnify something or you can minimize it. Rotating your wrist while you're grabbing and holding, you can do this movement. If you just grab and then let go, it stays. So making sure you're grabbing and then you're placing and letting go. So in our lab session, we'll go into more detail how to maneuver in this space, but for now, this should be enough to get you into your HoloAnatomy session and get you started. The last thing I want to show you all is the extra piece of joining a session, right? So you saw me go into a private session when I'm studying alone. You saw me start a group session as a leader, and now you can see me join a session. So if I'm kind of not as tech savvy and I kind of just want to join my teammates, I'll wait for them to set up this session, and then I'll go to join session, and I'll join this, this group 5 session. And now all I gotta do is wait, right? I've cleaned my headset, I made sure my brow pad isn't dirty, my silicone face mold is good. And see, you can see here, because I closed that previous session, it's no longer available. So once the group leader closes the session and the last person is out of that session, the project, the unit itself will shut down and is no longer available. But that's okay. All you have to do is either just go back to your group session and make a new one. Simple as that. Okay, so we're done with HoloAnatomy. Quit. And the most important part when you're done with a Holo session is you're shutting off your device. Just like your phone or your laptop, your device needs a break. So you'll either go to quick controls and hit the power options here and shut it down, or what you'll do is you'll press this button here while you have it on and hold it until it says powering off. Once you have that, you'll take it off, clean it, put it to the clean box, you'll plug it into the cart, make sure the light comes out, and you're done. That's it for your HoloAnatomy session. It's just important that you're going through these steps so that your device is ready for your next session and it's resting while it's here. Okay, that's all I have for this session. If you have questions, please let me know. But in this video, we went over powering on the headset, logging into our session, locating the HoloAnatomy app in our library, in our applications, selecting the room scale boundary, not stationary, not ever, but making sure we're getting into our HoloAnatomy session and then selecting our boundaries, right? Then doing our anchors, our 1, 2 pucks, and then we're either private session if we're starting alone. If I'm a team leader, I'll start the group session, and if I'm coming in after, I'm joining the session, right? Very important. We're doing that. We went over some of the controls of how to move some of these assets in the holographic space. And then the last part we went into is quitting, closing off the session, hitting that power button, letting your device rest, cleaning it, and then putting it in its cart so it can get some rest, it can charge and be ready for your next session. I hope this helped. Again, we'll be available for office hours, for labs. I'll be here. Please ask for help so we can make this experience as nice as it is for us. Thank you, everybody.